Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about what to look for in your cactus and succulent palette for different tells of your plant and telling what it needs, whether it's too much light it's getting, whether it's not enough light that it's getting, maybe it's getting too much water or not enough water. The first one that we're going to talk about is the lack of light. And I get this question a lot, especially when you're working with interior succulents or cacti. They really need bright, indirect light, a lot of light, whether it's by window, whether it's in a room with lots of windows. So if you have a plant like this trigona, this euphorbia here, that is in a spot that you love, but it's challenged with the light, you're going to see this start to happen where it's growing and it's getting really light in coloration here. It's not as rich and deep green as this. This is showing a lack of light. Another example of a lack of light in this echeveria in front of me, and the echeverias and sempervivums and things that really have naturally a rosette shape, something that's kind of really tight like this, when it's lacking light, it's going to flatten out. You can see it's really flat here versus kind of a real tucked in nice rosette shape. Take this plant, put it outside for a bit. However, I caution you, don't take an interior plant, whether it's a succulent or cacti or anything else, from a nice cozy interior spot out into full sun in August. Be mindful of taking it outside and putting it under an area that has shade canopy or protection so it's not shocked. But a couple of days, a week or so outside, this guy is going to really puff back out. You can see how really light color this aloe has become, how thin the leaves are getting versus the older kind of thicker leaf. This is a thinning leaf. Again, this is showing a lack of light. In this example here, it's getting what I call kind of leggy. It's starting to grow and maybe lean a little bit. And this one here, you can also see this is getting really long and leggy. And just if you can notice here, the distance between the leaves and the leaves that are coming out newer is getting further apart. So you'll want to notice the growth pattern and making sure that those leaves are growing consistently at the same distance. If they're growing longer between a new set of leaves, that's what we call getting leggy and growing for light. I would suggest putting it in a spot for an afternoon or a week to really kind of let it kind of beef back up with that. And that should happen right away. The other thing that we are going to talk about is too much light. This aeonium here is just sunburnt. You can see it's crinkly, it's burnt. Also heat stroke, high humidity. When we have summers that are super hot and high heat index, you're going to see that happen. Lack of water. That is going to look like this. See how dimply that these are? They're really emaciated, and succulents, as we know, hold so much moisture in their leaves and stem systems. So when they are losing that reserve, that's what their skin is going to look like. This is another example of a plant that really is just suffering. It's still alive. Do not throw this away. Stick it in some good soil, give it a good deluge of water, and do that frequently for over the next week, and that's really going to plump back up. Overwatering, I get this a lot, and this cactus right here is a good example of what that might look like for you and some of your plants. Mushy, black, rotted kind of feeling, maybe even some mold. That's going to tell you that it's getting too much water. In this echeveria here, you can also see this leaf right here. That's what you'll see with too much water. It's just getting kind of, it's bursting. If you ever had your succulent kind of explode on you, too much water or maybe superfluous watering. So you need to really water them thoroughly through so they get a drought and a monsoon feeling versus just kind of shallow watering. That can stress the root system out and also can create too much humidity under these leaves, and they just don't like it. Thank you for joining me today on Backyard Basics and talking about plant care of succulents and cacti.